snowboarding at Big White Resort, world-class wineries, great weather year-round, and of course, International Gateway Kelowna. IGK is the place where you can accomplish all of your English learning and your career goals, while enjoying the beautiful Okanagan Valley and all it has to offer. IGK is centrally located in downtown Kelowna, just a 5-minute walk from the beach, popular restaurants with outdoor patios, hiking trails, and so much more. IGK has the best teachers who are friendly and passionate about helping you reach your learning goals. We keep our class sizes small at IGK so that you can get individual feedback from your teachers and maximize your learning. Our small size also means that you can get to know all of the other students, teachers, and staff and become part of the IGK family. Our after-school activities and great homestay family placements also help you improve your English quickly, make friends, and have the best time at your home away from home. Enjoy Kelowna's summer festivals, snow in the winter, delicious fresh fruit in the summer, live music, wineries and breweries, and breathtaking views. What more could you want from your time in Canada? Come and see for yourself. IGK is the gateway to your future.
Class Education presenta un espacio que te brinda información de valor referente a la amplia gama de programas y beneficios de estudiar en Canadá para que tomes la mejor decisión. Class TV. Queda con ustedes nuestro anfitrión, Bruno Perrón.
Muy buenas noches a todos. Bruno Perrón aquí saludándolos. Hoy desde otra ubicación. Estoy de viaje visitando escuelas y me encuentro en mi cuarto de hotel, así que perdón por el background y un poco, espero que mi conexión sea buena. Pero bueno, me da mucho gusto saludarles el día de hoy. Como es costumbre, hoy tenemos una escuela canadiense que nos acompaña y es una escuela nueva que nunca hemos presentado aquí. Y estoy muy emocionado de presentárselo porque la verdad que es una joya y también la ciudad donde se encuentra creo que es Canadá, que el mejor secreto guardado, no, el secreto mejor guardado en Canadá, que es Kelowna, ahí en British Columbia, un lugar increíble. Entonces les vamos a platicar mucho de eso, pero antes de iniciar les quiero comentar pues que estamos en vivo en este momento en Facebook Live, en YouTube, en LinkedIn. Ahí está el equipo de Class. Recuerdan que en cada plataforma tenemos nuestro formato de contacto donde pueden dejarnos sus datos para que estemos en contacto con ustedes. Si tienen preguntas, háganlos de una vez para que podamos tomar sus preguntas en vivo con mis invitados del día de hoy. Y hoy vamos a hablar pues de esta escuela, del destino, de las oportunidades de trabajo que hay en ese destino y también migratoria. Vamos a hablar de los programas, de los costos, fechas de inicios, de todo eso. Entonces va a ser un programa como siempre cargado de información. Así que vamos a empezar con eso. Y antes de iniciar, la gente que no saben quién es Class, pues ya saben que somos una empresa canadiense. Estamos aquí para guiarlos, acompañarlos en hacer su proyecto y quizás trabajar y migrar a Canadá, hacerlo real, ¿no? A eso nos dedicamos. Entonces, hace un momentito estábamos viendo la página web de Class, donde tenemos un lobby virtual para ustedes allá, abierto de lunes a viernes de 9 a.m. a 7 p.m. Por si tienen preguntas, si quieren agendar una cita con nosotros, lo pueden hacer a través de ese sitio, classeducation.com, a través del lobby Class Zoom. Ahí estamos nosotros todas las semanas de 9 a.m. a 7 p.m. para ustedes, ¿ok? Entonces, como Class Education, como empresa, ofrecemos todos los servicios de orientación, como decía, consultoría, acompañamiento, visado, hospedaje, escuela, seguro médico, traducción de documentos, todo lo que uno necesita para ir a estudiar a Canadá es lo que ofrecemos. Entonces, estamos aquí para acompañarlos. Espérenme, tengo aquí Estamos aquí nosotros para apoyarlos y acompañarlos en ese sentido. Y tenemos más de 28 años ya de experiencia en ese sentido. Y trabajamos con más de 300 instituciones en Canadá y hoy día hemos enviado más de 10,000 alumnos de México y América Latina a estudiar en Canadá. Entonces tenemos todo lo que se requiere para que vayan a estudiar y que contestemos a todas sus inquietudes y preguntas para este tipo de proyecto. ¿Ok? Muy bien. Entonces, pues si están listos, les pido que ya iniciamos con la presentación. La escuela de hoy se llama IGK entre nosotros, pero el nombre completo es International Gateway of Kelowna. Es una institución que se ubica en Kelowna, British Columbia. Kelowna queda más o menos a 4 horas de Vancouver, en las montañas. Una región que se llama la Valle de Okanagan, que es una valle muy importante, una zona de frutas, una zona de vinos, en una de las 2 zonas importantísimas de vinos en Canadá. La población anda, de ahí dice 165,000, digo que son más como 180,000, porque este número es de hace un par de años. Está creciendo, es una de las ciudades con mayor crecimiento económico y de población en Canadá. Creo que estamos ya en 185,000 habitantes. Y escuchen eso, es la 6ª ciudad con mayor cantidad de oportunidades laborales en Canadá. Está explotando la ciudad y hace falta gente para trabajar en esa zona y por eso los traímos el día de hoy aquí con ustedes. Está pegado al lago Okanagan y cerca de 3 montañas muy importantes para esquiar. Entonces, Kelowna, la verdad que no es justo porque lo tiene todo. IGK ofrece programas de idiomas, programas de idioma inglés, campamentos de verano y invierno, programas de Pathway para los que quieren educación superior para nivelar su nivel de inglés y también programas de Estudia y Trabajo, ¿no? En sus programas de Estudio y Trabajo tienen en hospitalidad y tourism, Winery, ahí dice Winery Assistant, Sales, Certificate of Cryptocurrency, Professional Business Administration, UI Design, UX Design, Cybersecurity Professional, en fin, varios programas muy en demanda hoy día, no solo en la región de Okanagan, pero también en todo el país. Entonces, programas muy, muy comercial donde los alumnos encuentran trabajo luego durante sus estudios y obviamente también después de graduarse, ¿no? Todos sus programas cuentan con co-op. El salario mínimo, recuerdan que en la provincia de British Columbia es de 15,65 centavos y parece que en otoño va a subir otra vez a unos 10, 20 centavos más arriba de eso. Y todos los programas permiten que los alumnos puedan estudiar trabajar medio tiempo mientras están estudiando. ¿Ok? Bueno, entonces esos son un poco de puntos importantes que les quiero comentar y de eso vamos a hablar y mucho más en detalles con nuestros invitados de hoy, que ya me están esperando en la llamada. Entonces, si están listos, por favor, preparan sus notas o sus iPad para tomar notas o sus lápices y en un segundo más ya entramos en materia. Muy bien, perfecto. Pues ya la plática de hoy va a ser en inglés porque mis invitados no hablan español. Entonces vamos a hacerlo en inglés, vamos a hablar despacio y también si hay necesidad yo también voy a estar ahí para traducir o repetir lo que es más importante de todo lo que estamos platicando. ¿Ok? Entonces, ahora sí, si nos pueden poner a nuestros invitados en la pantalla, por favor, Jessica. Hello, Blaine, how are you? And Onur, how are you?
Doing very well, thank you.
All right. So we have 3 people on the call. We have Blaine Melnick, who is the Director of Sales for International Gateway of Kelowna. A friend of mine, we've met on numerous occasions, both in Kelowna and Vancouver and in Toronto not too long ago, right? Blaine, nice to have you. It looks like it's a beautiful sunny day in Kelowna again.
Well, we had a little bit of a rain just a short time ago. It was a pretty heavy rainfall, and then now it's sunny. So okay. Every day it's sunny at some time in Kelowna, but
yeah, exactly.
Sometime.
All right, and Onur, you're the owner of the school in Kelowna. A relatively new owner. I think the school has been around for maybe 25 years, but you're the relatively new owner. I think it's been a few years. So welcome in the program as well.
1.5 years. Yeah, thank you.
Very good. It's nice to have you again. And Krista, very interesting to have you on the call because you are looking for people. You are with a company called Predator Ridge, which is a beautiful resort very close to Kelowna. It's a golf resort. It's a hotel. You have all kinds of services there. You have weddings there. You have catering opportunity. You have a lot of corporate events there as well. And I know this for having been your customer on a number of occasions, and I always love it. And you're here because you have a special strategic alliance, let's say, with this institution to for them to help you recruit people to work in your company. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yes, and we're very excited about it.
Okay. Let me translate because this is important. Como les decía, Krista trabaja para un resort cerca. Ellos están trabajando con la escuela para reclutar gente que toman los programas de la institución y los contratan con ellos mientras están estudiando y también al graduarse. Entonces es muy interesante y la invitamos el día de hoy para que nos comparte su punto de vista sobre sus necesidades laborales, para que vean que eso no solo lo digo yo, pero lo dice la escuela y también lo dice los empleadores. Y Krista representa un empleador importante que contrata cada verano 300 empleados y hoy día tienen más empleos que gente para trabajar en esta área del país porque están creciendo muchísimo. Muy bien. Okay, all right, guys. Well, I was just translating a bit of the situation. We know that the Okanagan region is very it's very active. It's growing very fast economically and in population as well. So you typically a lot of students wish to go to the big centers in Canada like Toronto, Vancouver, and these are beautiful cities as well. But maybe, Blaine, you can start with that. Let's talk. Why would you say that Kelowna is a great destination for international students to land in terms of studying, in terms of getting a job, in terms of living expenses, as opposed to those big centers like Toronto or Vancouver? Why would you say that it would be a good place to start when you land in Canada?
Yeah, I think Kelowna offers a great experience and Vernon and our whole Okanagan region. I think it offers a different type of experience in which you're going to get in Toronto or Vancouver. I think it's very unique because of the diversity of opportunities. We can have things like wineries, and we can have hospitality, and we can have workers for golf, and we can have ranchers, and we can have tech, and we can have hospitality. So there are so many different opportunities within our region that you're not going to have that same diversity in some of those bigger centers. You would have to go far outside of those big centers to get it. The other piece is that we're less expensive to live than some of those bigger centers. We're desperate for employees, and so that's why Krista is here, and she's going to talk about that. And we're easy to get to. We've got a University of British Columbia Okanagan campus here, and great infrastructure. And people can still buy a home, maybe in some of the smaller communities just outside of Kelowna, but home ownership in a bigger center like Vancouver is just not possible any longer. The other interesting piece, I think, where Krista is going to be involved with is the fact that because she's closer to Vernon, she's able to tap into that rural and northern immigration pilot project, or program, and so it's going to speed up that opportunity for immigration if that's the end goal of our clients.
Yeah, that's right. Very, very interesting. The points that you mentioned there in terms of cost of living, as well as work opportunities. I would say in rural British Columbia, there's even more work opportunities than in cities like Vancouver and Toronto, because of the fact that less international students are aware of these options, right? So that's why we invited you to this program today, because we think this is probably British Columbia's best kept secret, and we need to get it out there and get people to understand that there are very good options, and for them to study there and work and eventually also immigrate. So let's dive into that, if we may. Let's talk about some of the programs, some of the categories of programs that you have at the school. We know you have English as a second language. You also have pathways and work and study programs. So let's talk about these programs. So the audience has a good understanding of these programs, what they entail, and for them to see which program would be the best fit for them.
Sure. Would you like me to start kind of at the language or start more at the career college? side of it?
Yeah, let's talk about the language quickly. Maybe just run through the different programs that you have, and then, but yeah, we will spend a little more time on the pathways and work and study opportunities.
Okay, great. So I just want to be able to share my screen if I'm allowed to, just to kind of showcase these. It says I'm in there, but are you able to see the screen there with my face on it?
Not yet. They might be coming. I'm at a distance, so.
No, let me just try that again. I don't think it let me share screen. Share screen. I'll go to this screen here. Share. Hold on a second here. I may just talk about the different programs. This is seemingly more difficult than it needs to be. So,
okay.
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Sure. Okay. So you have English as a second language programs, which is a must, because if you want to, work and eventually even immigrate to Canada, you do need to have the English language. So
there's 4 distinct areas within our language academy, and the first one is going to be general English, and that's offered to both youth and to adults, and it is classes that are just general, learn to speak English, learn the vocabulary, learn how to write English better. And those courses start every Monday. And so we do have a new intake. You test when you first come in. We put you into the group where you feel where you're going to be best suited. And then we test your progression over the course of each of those weeks that you stay. The second program is our pathway programs, and those are recognized by 8 different universities so far, where they'll take our students directly intake, so there's no examination required. And that's our English for academic purposes, 100, 200, and 300. The third program that we offer are high school experiences. So students can come learn English for a period of time, and then we'll place them within a high school environment. And then fourth, we have camps, and our camps run over the course of the summer, over the course of the winter. We have 12 weeks of open camps in the summer, so students can come for a minimum of 2 weeks, individual or group. We have 8 weeks of camps that are scheduled for the winter time, and those are English in the morning and then activities in the afternoons, and you stay with the homestay during that time. So those are the 4 different English programs. General English in the morning is going to be more based on the theme of the week. We're a National Geographic Learning Center, and so all of our texts are National Geographic. The themes are really interesting. It might be talking about food and food sourcing and those kind of things for 1 week. The next week it may be talking politics, but each week has a different unit of study, and it's all based on a theme. And then in the afternoon, students can take specific types of English. They can take a business language. They can take English for academic purposes if they choose to do so. Mm-hmm. So that's the Language Academy. On the career college side, we've got 4 distinct schools there as well. The first is a TESOL teaching program. That's for an English teacher who would like to go out, teach English somewhere in Canada or around the world. They need a minimum of an undergraduate degree. They need to be an English first speaker, and then they can go out and do that. So that's kind of a local program. The second is that we've got a School of Hospitality and Tourism. And within that, we have 2 distinct programs. One is hospitality and tourism for both restaurant and customer service based and hotel. And then another one is specific to winery. So if you're interested in just going through the winery sales and associate program, you can do that as well. So 2 distinct hospitality and tourism programs. Each of those are 22 weeks with a 10-week paid cooperative after that time. Programs start at about $8,000 for that, just to kind of let you know just the general pricing. The next distinct school that we have is the Business Administration program. And so the Business Admin is a 60-week course with additional 16 weeks of paid cooperative placement. And that's with one of our business partners. And we really worked hard over the course of the last, over the course of the last 2 years, but over the course of the last 3 months, specifically, really trying to bring together industry partners, understanding that we're looking at the end needs and goals of our clients, especially from an immigration pathway program or somebody who wants to be able to work during their stay, their educational stay. And so that's why we have now over 40 partners, and they're currently advertising for somewhere around 1,000 employees that they're currently looking for. So as I bring somebody like Krista on board here from Predator Ridge, we're very excited to have not only her expertise and understanding of the market requirements, but also to be able to have our students either learning English and improving their English skills before they go and would perhaps work with her, or to get a college, some sort of certificate and training program, and then go and work at one of those partners. So we're really excited about that. The last program that we offer, the last school, is informational technology. Or IT. And these programs are all starting at about 26 weeks in length. We're currently offering cryptocurrency professional. In January, we're offering an additional cybersecurity program, the UI design, which is like the front-loaded, the stuff that you see. It's the graphics, it's the user, what you see. And then the next one is the UX, which is the stuff that's in the background. So the web design, the research, the all that architecture that's in behind there. So we believe that we have very strong programs, but I think you can find equally strong programs in other centers. I think that we've got a fantastic language program, but again, you can find language schools. But I think the fact that we're bringing it all together with the employers is really our distinct advantage. I think that the gateway, the whole idea of gateway to your future is really important, because that's what we're looking at. We're looking at that end user and really trying to serve all their needs.
Okay, so the last IT is 26 weeks of teaching, and how long is the co-op for that?
For those ones, we're not currently running a cooperative program for it, just because we found that when we reached out into the community, we really struggled to try to find people that were willing to just kind of jump in there and say, okay, we'll take them, until they've seen them and we've been able to establish. And so they're interested in looking at individuals, but they're not interested in just opening the door to cooperatives. So so that's where we are now.
Okay. All right. So, entonces, lo que quiero comentar aquí es que todos esos programas son oportunidades que les deja estudiar, y mientras están estudiando pueden trabajar medio tiempo al mismo tiempo, y dado la alta demanda que hay en la región para trabajar, pues al salirse de su programa ya tienen oportunidades para trabajar, y Krista está aquí para confirmar eso, y vamos a hablar un poquito con ella para que nos diga un poquito qué tipo de gente está buscando y lo está reclutando hoy día desde la escuela, porque ya vienen preparados para ese tipo de trabajo. Krista, tell us a little bit, why do you like hiring graduate students from these programs, especially, I guess, from the tourism and hospitality program? I'm imagining that you like those graduate students. So what are your demands, and what kind of position are you looking for? And if I may ask as well, what kind of salary are you offering to those graduate students? And most importantly, why are you hiring students from this institution?
So I guess where I would start is anytime that we're dealing with students who have invested in their career and their sort of that secondary education piece, I think the commitment to that industry is much greater. We also feel it's really important to give back to our industry and recognizing the mentorship and the on-hands training. I guess more boots in the ground, or boots on the ground, so to speak. The areas that we're mainly looking for would be culinary. We've also got banquet. I think Blaine had mentioned we do several weddings. We do a lot of corporate events, different golf tournaments and whatnot. So banquet is a big area. We've also got, front desk, central reservations. We've got 10 different departments that are all basically feeding into the one common goal. So we've got construction, we've got landscape, turf care, our golf operations. So certainly no shortage of opportunities and ability to match skill set to the opportunities. We employ about 350, and that would be a combination of seasonal and full-time year-round. We're definitely gravitating and hiring more that are full-time year-round on benefits, recognizing that commitment is important, and it's also helping build a sense of community, not just at Predator, but within whether it be Vernon or some of these other outlying areas. We've been working with, as Blaine mentioned, the Rural Northern Immigration Pilot Program. We've had some great success there. We have individuals working with us right now from, oh my goodness, I think we've got Belize, we've got Saudi Arabia, we have Egypt, Sri Lanka. So it's been a wonderful experience thus far. We our approach again is that it isn't just a job. We really, I mean, the community of Predator, we kind of live and breathe it. And I know that probably sounds corny, but when you have an opportunity to go up there and see and experience, you really do understand what that is. We put a lot of effort into treating our teams very well. We have great benefits packages. Our wages are competitive. It would depend on the roles. As an example, if you're doing landscape, you're probably 18 to 22-ish an hour. If you're in finance, that would be, a whole different category. We just hired someone today. I think it was about starting at $55,000 a year.
Tell us, Krista, and let's not get into too many details because it could get very technical, but let's explain to us, what does the Rural Northern Immigration Pilot Program is about, and how do you work with graduate students from the school to bring them and to allow them to continue working and immigrating into the area through that programs? Because that is key, and a lot of people that are listening are asking all kinds of questions now. They're asking about cyber technology, and so I'll get into I'll get into the questions right after this your answer. But let's tell us how that rural Northern Immigration Pilot Program, how does it work, and why is this a benefit to international students that are listening right now?
So it is, I guess, a fast track to permanent residency. The application process is an LMIA exempt. So there's just a few less barriers that you have to go through. Because Predator is a pre-approved employer, we work very closely with the local group. And so, their whole point is to build a more diversified community. We need to grow our community of Vernon. And so, again, it's all areas. It isn't just for hospitality. It would be anything. But I guess I'm not sure if that helps answer what you.
Well, without getting into the nitty gritty of the program, it helps a lot enough to say that it's a fast track, and it's to help the region grow, because you need help. You need people to grow your business, because it's a place where Canadians go and international tourism go as well to the region, right? So you need more people. I'd like to explain that a little bit in Spanish, because I think this is very important. Para los que están escuchando ahorita, les quiero comentar lo que nos está explicando Krista. Es que hay un programa en Canadá que se llama Rural Northern Immigration Program, Pilot Program, porque es un programa piloto que ya tiene, no es tan piloto, porque ya tiene 3 o 4 años que existe el programa, y básicamente lo que hace es que reduce los tiempos de inmigración a Canadá. Es un fast track para inmigrar a Canadá. Solo hay 11 ciudades en el país que lo tienen, y donde está Krista, donde está su empresa, Predators Ridge, ellos están en la zona donde tienen este programa. Y este programa está diseñado para atraer gente en zona donde hay crecimiento económico importantísimo, y hace falta gente para trabajar, y las empresas se encuentran en una incapacidad de crecer porque no tienen suficiente gente en la región para trabajar, ¿ok? Ahora, Kelowna es una ciudad con altísimo crecimiento económico y de población, como les decía, y estando ahí ellos la empresa de Krista y varias otras empresas califican, o sea, son empresas precalificadas por el gobierno, donde cuando contratan la gente, en lugar que sea al año, donde ya pueden ver una posible inmigración a Canadá, eso se va reduciendo a 6 meses, ¿no? Entonces, con un periodo de trabajo muy reducido, uno ya puede tener lo necesario y una carta del empleador que dice, aquí trabaja esta persona y aquí lo queremos seguir empleando, con eso ya puede meter sus documentos para una inmigración mucho más rápido, ¿no? Entonces, son programas muy interesantes que ha desarrollado Canadá precisamente para desahogar un poco los grandes centros y que haya un crecimiento económico en otras partes del país de forma más equitativa, ¿no? Entonces, eso es un gran beneficio para ustedes que están interesados en emigrar quizás y por lo menos trabajar, porque sí les da mucho más flexibilidades, ¿no? Entonces, si quieren más información, y ahora veo que hay muchas preguntas, y si este tipo de programa les interesa, les pido que llenen el formato de contacto que está en cada una de sus redes sociales, Facebook, YouTube y LinkedIn, para que nos dejen sus datos y podamos enviarles mayor información después. También quiero decirles que ni Krista, ni Blaine, ni yo somos consultores en inmigración, entonces, pero sí sabemos de las grandes líneas de esos programas y no me van a dejar mentir, pero es una realidad que en esta zona del país, entre otras, hay muchísimas oportunidades. Ahora, we have a lot of questions, and a lot of questions. We have one that keeps coming up, which is important. Blaine, maybe you can help us. Is what are the costs? First of all, for the English programs, you mentioned some costs on the work and study program, but what are the costs for the English programs, and maybe costs on the pathway program as well? We have Isauro who's asking about the cost and about the requirements to get into these programs. So can we talk about that a little bit? Let's first start with English programs.
Okay, so general English classes work out to be about $16 per class. So on a weekly basis, if you wanted to take 10 classes per week, that would be $160. If you wanted to take 25 classes per week, so that would be 5 hours of study per day, that would be, a little bit more than that. So it works out to be roughly about $16 per class. And so I think, 20 hours would be $320 per week, roughly. And that would be like for 4 hours of study a day. The pathway programs are working on those basically those same numbers. Owner, do you have the numbers with you for the?
Actually, so we have like 3 different course options. It's from 10 hours per week, 25 hours a week, or 15 hours a week. So the 10 hours, it's, as you said, it's starting $160 per week. And the 15 hours is going to be $230, and the 25 hours is going to be going to $300 per week. So
$300 per week, so that's $1,200 per month.
Absolutely.
Right. So the 20 hours a week, we're talking 4 hours a day, 5 days a week.
25 hours a week.
Oh, 25 hours a week.
Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely.
So 25 hours a week is 5 hours per day, 5 days a week. That's full time, obviously.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So that's about $1,200 Canadian per week. Okay. I hope that answers your questions, Yaris. So what are for English program? There are no requirements. You need to have a valid passport. If you come for less, si vienen por menos de 6 meses, no necesitan visa. Es un ETA, es una visa electrónica que sacamos. Y si vienen por 6 meses o más, sí hay que sacar un permiso de estudio, y eso lo puede sacar nuestros asesores en Classification para ustedes. Es una visa de estudio por 6 meses o más. Okay, now let's talk about work and study. You say it's about the same price?
So for the different career programs, that's going to be a little bit different. They start at $8,500 per course would be the winery sales and assistant. So that's $8,500. And then there is the co-op option for that. So that's 16 weeks of co-op. There is a placement fee of $1,250. So that program is still coming in at under $10,000 Canadian, as an example. And the first 3 courses are the same as what you would do for hospitality and tourism. And then you specialize into the winery industry. The UX and UI designer are also at that $8,500. Cryptocurrency is $8,500. And then there's a little bit of a jump when you start to get into the hospitality and tourism. Those are $12,500 each. And then the diploma for business admin is $16,500 with 16 weeks of paid work experience.
Because that's a much longer program, though. That's 60 weeks, right?
That's a 60-week program, yeah. And so a lot of it comes down to the costs of hiring good staff for each of those programs. And so that's why there's some discrepancies in the pricing. In addition, we were trying to really push a few of those industries. So the winery one is one that we really are excited about. And so we've kind of reduced the prices a little bit on that just to make sure that we can fill it. We're currently offering $4,000 in scholarships available for each of those different programs for any of your listeners today.
Okay, hold on. This is big news. Okay, so if the program costs $8,500, you have a $4,000 scholarship?
For each of them, it's up to $4,000. So it's going to run on a little bit different, and we got to see the strength of the client as well. So it does come down to those factors. So, but up to $4,000, you can guarantee it on the higher price ones. You're going to get that $4,000. On some of the ones, it might be a little bit less than that.
Okay, so it could be, let's say, anywhere between $1,500 to maybe $3,000, $2,500 at least.
Yeah, for sure.
Something like that. Okay, entonces hay becas muy interesantes desde, digamos que $1,500 a $2,500 para los programas de turismo, que están en $8,500, y hasta $4,000 de descuento de becas parciales para los programas de negocio, que son de 60 semanas, que es más de un año. Entonces, descuentos que hacen que el precio son bastante económico, porque los precios son para toda la duración del programa. Y let's talk about for these career college, what are the requirements? What do you need from the students to get into these programs?
So the requirement is we have like a 3 simple requirements. It has to be like the high school diploma, it's high school graduation. And another point is that we require the English language requirement, which is it's equal to IELTS 5.5 or any of Duolingo, it's like 85 points. And or any, if the student doesn't have any, English proof that they can show us, we have a placement test. It's a free of charge, so they can just take our test and we can get to their level. So if they are able to meet our requirements, they can able to join class right away. Or if it's not, we can offer the English classes until they can get to their same English level requirements.
Okay, entonces los dos requisitos más importantes, primero, uno tiene que tener su bachillerato terminado, ¿no? Entonces haber terminado la prepa con su diploma. Y el segundo, tener un nivel de inglés intermediario avanzado, digamos que será el equivalente de un IELTS 5.5 o un Duolingo 85. Si no lo tienen por alguna razón, no hay ningún problema. Podemos tomar algunas semanas o meses de inglés antes y luego entrar en este programa ya una vez que llegamos al nivel de inglés que piden, porque es un programa donde va a estar estudiando y trabajando, entonces tienen que tener un mínimo de inglés para poder trabajar y ser útil para los empleadores, como en el caso de Krista. Okay, muy bien. And the career college programs, do they start every month? Do they start every set? What are the set dates for intakes?
So we have 3 intake periods. So the first one is in September, then January, then May. And so we're probably looking at, most of your clients now are going to be looking at January intake. We are offering September intake online. And so if your clients wanted to come and perhaps just go online for the first portion of it, and then after Christmas, January, finish the program within their school, and then go directly into the workplace, they can do that as well.
Okay. Would you still have room for September, or you feel it's too late because of the visa requirements?
Visa requirements, I think that's going to be difficult. We're going to go, so that's why we're offering it online. We're offering it in person here locally. But I think it might be difficult.
Okay. So January and May, our registration open for May 23 as well already?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
So January intake, January 2023, and then May 2023.
Okay.
Owner, do you feel there's any difference to that, or do you think I'm just trying to?
We still accept those September applications, but based on the different about the study permit application. But if they want to start to online, so while they can wait their study permit, it's an always chance we can still accept it, this type of students. And as soon as they get study permits, they can able to to join the classes in person in January intake.
Could they start online in September and join classes in October? Would that be
January?
But they couldn't
October.
they could come in October?
Yeah,
they start online?
Because we have like 3 courses. It's going to be running from September to December. So as soon as they completed the first course, and while they're just waiting their study permit, and they can join the in-person in the second classes.
Okay. All right. Voy a tomar algunas de sus preguntas. Ahora es buen momento para que nos hagan llegar sus preguntas. Les voy a pedir a mi equipo de clase que nos comparten algunas de las preguntas. Guys, I will read some of the questions to you, and we'll see how and who answers the questions, okay? For the cryptocurrency, what are the requirements? What can we expect from the program? What happens if cryptocurrency happens to disappear, because it's had a rough week, right? That's a good question.
Well, I mean, the cryptocurrency isn't going to disappear. It's definitely a volatile market, and that's why it's important to train for it. So within cryptocurrency and any of our 6-month programs, there's 6 distinct courses. So Introduction to Cryptocurrency is the first program, or the first course, which takes about a month. The next one is called Introduction to Blockchain. The third course is Trading and Investing Cryptos. The fourth course is Laws and Regulations. The fifth is Smart Contracts, and then Security Practices. So those are there's distinct courses, and they take about a month to complete each of them. And that's how it works out to be about a 6-month program.
Okay, yeah. Yo tampoco creo que las cripto monedas van a desaparecer. Creo que sí es un mercado volátil, pero eso sí se va a quedar y va a pasar por tiempos difíciles, pero sí va a pertenecer. Se va a quedar. Hay otra pregunta de Yaris Fuente que habla sobre alojamiento, y que a ver si lo podemos poner en la pantalla, por favor. So Yaris Fuentes is asking requirements and costs for the programs. I think we covered that now. And also type of housing that you manage. So let me recap on the costs in Spanish first. Los costos de las carreras de Estudia y Trabajo andan sobre $8,500 canadienses por el tiempo completo, son como 6 meses, y allí hay becas parciales entre $1,500 y $2,500 según el programa. Si quieren más información, nos pueden dejar sus datos para que les hagamos llegar una cotización exacta. Y el programa de negocio, que son de 60 semanas, más de un año, tiene una beca hasta de $4,000, pero cuesta $16,000, entonces baja a $12,000 ya por todo un año completo. Okay. Now let's talk about housing. What are the housing options that exist in Kelowna?
Yeah, absolutely. So currently we have like an amazing homestay experience as of the offering the students as of accommodation. So our homestay is like a kind of life a little bit different than the other stays. They had the chance to meet with the local peoples and doing the local attractions as well. And the prices is starting pretty much like 2 meals and sharing room. It's starting $230. And if they want to just get it in full board, it's going to be starting $260 is per week.
Sorry, $260 per week?
Per week. So it's roughly about $1,000 per month.
Okay, let's talk about month, right? Because it's, rent is usually on a monthly basis. Yeah. So about $1,000 Canadian per month living with a homestay family in the region, right?
Yeah.
And that includes your own room, that includes the meals and all the services, the house, the electricity, internet, all that is included, right?
Yeah,
that's correct. And as a 20-year-old company, we've built that group of people up for a long time. So they're not just kind of fresh and new every year. A lot of these are professional homestays for us. So they're families that welcome students from International Gateway Kelowna for a long period of time.
Okay. Sofía García dice, yo soy especialista en ciberseguridad. ¿Hay forma de ver qué materias el programa, qué materias hay en el programa? Sí, puedes verlo, Sofía. Lo que te pidiera es que llenas el formato de contacto que está en YouTube. Yo veo que estás en YouTube. Llena este formato para que tengamos tus contactos y te lo mandamos el día de mañana por WhatsApp o por correo para que tengas la lista de materia. She's asking for the list of topics that you're covering in the cybersecurity program. So if she leaves us her contact information, we'll be able to send that to her. Okay?
Yeah, for sure.
There was another question. Rootbird, quisiera saber los costos de curso de inglés que proporciona. Okay, he wants to know about cost of English program that you mentioned. So you were roughly full-time. The most expensive program is 5 hours per day. 5 horas al día, 5 días a la semana. Eso cuesta $1,200 canadiense por mes. If it's 20 hours per week, owner, what is the cost?
It's going to be like a 260. It's roughly $800.
260 is more than that, no? It's about 1,000.
Give me a second. Sorry, it's a 15 hours. It's a $225. So it's equal to $900.
$900 if it's 15 hours per week, and if it's 20 hours per week, it will be about $1,000 per month.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Entonces, va desde $900 por mes hasta 1,200 según cuántas horas a la semana tenemos. Si tenemos 15 horas a la semana, es decir, 3 horas al día, 20 horas a la semana, que son 4 horas al día, o 25 horas a la semana, que son 5 horas diario de lunes a viernes, $1,200 canadienses. Okay? All right, which other question we have? Jelis Maldonado, ¿tienen algún programa en ciencias de la salud o educación? Do you have any programs related to health or education?
Health and education, it's not at this time, but it's going to be available in the future.
Así es. Jelis, para estos programas tenemos otras instituciones en Canadá que sí tienen esos programas y hay un rango muy amplio allá de oportunidades educativas y también esos programas también son programas con alta demanda laboral también en Canadá. Entonces, si te interesa otra vez, veo que estás en YouTube. Si nos dejas tus datos en el formato de contacto, el formato de contacto se ve abajo del video donde nos ven ustedes. Ahí hay un formato de contacto, le hagan clic ahí, nos dejan sus datos y nosotros le podemos enviar información después de hoy de otras instituciones que sí tienen esos programas. ¿Ok? Muy bien. Which other question we have? A mí me interesa mucho saber sobre la documentación que se requiere para poder ingresar al país, sobre todo ahorita con la cuestión de pandemia, y de igual manera saber si existe algún problema con qué, no sé. Okay, so this person is asking what kind of documentation we need if she wants to study administration. She's currently studying administration, so we want to know what kind of documents we need to get into Canada. So, básicamente, Marijés Moca, lo que sí necesitas, primero tenemos que inscribirte, escoger el programa para ti, inscribirte al programa. Una vez que estás inscrita y ya recibes una carta de aceptación, lo que necesitamos para hacer tu visa, si vas por un programa de menos de 6 meses, no necesita más que un ETA, que es una visa electrónica que se saca en 10 minutos en línea. La podemos sacar por ti si quieres o la puedes sacar tú misma. Es muy sencillo. Si vas por cualquier programa de 6 meses y más tiempo, sí necesitas una visa de estudio canadiense. Esta visa de estudio te va a permitir también, según el programa, también trabajar si el programa es elegible para trabajo. Esta visa también la podemos sacar para ti. En Classification tenemos nuestro propio departamento de visado, entonces lo podemos sacar para ti. Entonces, básicamente es menos de 6 meses, es una visa electrónica que sacamos en línea. Si vas por 6 meses o más, es una visa de estudio y en algunos casos es una visa de estudio con beneficios de poder trabajar mientras estudias y después de graduarte. Y en ambos casos, CLAS te puede ayudar en conseguir esta visa a través de los documentos que nos da la escuela, que es su carta de aceptación. Con respecto a eso, lo demás es sencillo. Ya no se requiere ni PCR test para entrar a Canadá, ni antigen test, antígenos. No se requiere nada de eso ya. Lo único que necesitamos es que la gente sea vacunada con un cuadro de vacunación completo de las vacunas que acepta Canadá, que son cada vez más, ¿no? Son 7 o 8 o 9 vacunas ya que acepta Canadá. Si quieren más información sobre eso, otra vez déjanos sus datos para mandárselos después de este evento. Y también creo que aparece en nuestra página web eso. Okay? Very good. Okay, so we're knocking some of those questions out. There are lots more questions. Can we have the next question, please? Next question. Sometimes it's technology that doesn't respond. Alessandra Perez is saying, where can we find the cost of these programs? Well, I'm not sure those costs are on your website, but we have. Are they on the website? Yeah.
It's on our website. It's as long as it's there, going to each program page, so they can able to see it. But of course, our scholarship is only for this. For events, so if they want to just touch it, basically they can contact you as well.
Yeah, I would say that I'd rather we give you a specific quote than looking on the website, because with the quote we can include whatever scholarship is available for that program, right? And that information might not be available on the website.
Yeah.
Entonces, lo que yo diría es que mejor se acercan a nosotros les podemos hacer una cotización exacta que va a incluir la beca parciales que está otorgando la institución en este momento, porque estos precios sí no están en el sitio web. Entonces, es mejor que nos dejen tus datos en cada una de sus redes sociales para que les podamos enviar esta información y que va a ser una cotización menor, ¿no?, a lo que van a conseguir en línea. Okay, Carlos Rodriguez asks the question of the evening. Are these programs accessible to the postgraduate work permit in that school? The famous
question, right?
Postgraduate. A lot of people know about this program. So, are your programs subject to the postgraduate work permit?
So currently, it's not through our institution, but however, our business administration program, we have a credit transfer agreement through the University of Canada West to their Bachelor of Commerce program. So as long as they completed our business administration program, which is 14 courses, they can able to transfer 12 of them to directly the University of Canada West. And as long as they graduate from there, they can able to get a postgraduate work permit.
Ok, entonces eso es interesante. Gracias por la pregunta, Carlos. Lo que está explicando Honor es que su programa de Business Administration son 14 cursos, de los cuales, si lo haces completo, 12 de estos programas se revalidan automáticamente con la Universidad de Canadá West, que se ubica en Vancouver. Los hemos tenido varias veces aquí en este programa. Y la Universidad de Canadá West revalida 12 de esos 14 programas. Entonces, al hacer eso, ya entras casi en el segundo año de tu licenciatura con la Universidad de Canadá West. Y la Universidad de Canadá West, al hacer la licenciatura con ellos, sí tienes acceso al Postgraduate Work Permit. ¿Okay? Ahora, otra vía para emigrar es lo que acabamos de ver con Krista. Mientras toman cualquiera de los programas de carreras con esta institución, empiezan a trabajar después en sus programas, y como es una zona de alta demanda laboral, hay manera ahí, a través del fast track que hablamos con Krista, de conseguirle una carta de un empleador que les permite aplicar por la residencia de forma mucho más rápida, es decir, en tiempos mucho más reducidos que en otra parte del país, porque la zona Vernon en este caso, está dentro del Rural Northern Immigration Pilot Program, lo cual reduce muchísimo los costos. ¿Okay? Entonces, para hablar más de eso y exactamente cómo se hace, los podemos tomar de la mano para eso, pero sería para otra conversación porque es algo muy, muy técnico, pero sí también hay una otra forma. No todo es el Postgraduate Work Permit, sino hay otras maneras también de emigrar a Canadá a través de la educación y de varios programas donde hay alta demanda laboral. ¿Ok? Pero muy buena pregunta, Carlos. Muchas gracias. Okay, so we're running through lots of the questions. Another thing, okay, here's another one before we take some more questions. IUS Academy, estoy interesado en una licenciatura de física que inicia en otoño de este año. Esta institución no tiene licenciatura en física. Eso será un programa más bien para una universidad. Para septiembre veo difícil que algunas instituciones tengan todavía espacio. Lo podríamos checar si nos dejas tus datos a través de YouTube. Podemos revisar quién tiene espacio todavía para septiembre y intentar ver si hay espacio y hacer la aplicación. Si no, quizás analizarlo para enero 2023 también. Entonces, si nos dejas tus datos, te podemos decir quién tiene este tipo de programa, pero típicamente una licenciatura en física estaría en una universidad canadiense y no una institución como la es the International Gateway of Kelowna. Okay? Sofia Garcia is saying, the work and study program or design for whom wants to apply. Hold on. Let me read this and not translate at the same time. Los programas de estudio y trabajar están diseñados para que quien quiere aplicar pueda mantenerse en Kelowna. Okay, good question. Sofia says the work and study program or design for people that while you're working, can you maintain yourself economically in the region? I mean, that means, are you going to make enough money to pay for your cost of living while you're living in the region of Kelowna?
Yeah, absolutely, actually. But I can just pass out to Blaine, so he has a great example for that.
Yeah, when you're studying, you can work up to 20 hours per week. I mean, that's what the government says during that time. And so if you're going to work 20 hours per week on an average of about $20 per hour, that's about $400, about $1,600 per month. And so that's the beginning of that's enough to kind of, maintain, I guess. You're not going to make a lot of money, but you're going to be able to afford a place to live. A 1-bedroom accommodation, if you want to live on your own in Kelowna, is roughly about $1,200 to $1,400. If you wanted to live in Vernon, it's going to be a little bit less. But if you want to live in one of our home states, $1,000. So you're able to maintain that, you can survive during that time. When you go on to the work permit, you're going to now, or when you're doing their work section for either 10 weeks or 16 weeks developing, or depending on the program, you're going to be making roughly $20 per hour, and that's going to be working full time. So now you're making $800 per week times 4 weeks, and that's $3,200 per month. And so between, that's going to really help support you during the time that you're living here in Kelowna.
Yeah. So, great question, Sofía. Sí puedes mantenerte y más, ¿no? O sea, como dice Blaine, no te vas a volver rica en estos programas, sobre todo mientras estás estudiando, porque solo puedes trabajar medio tiempo, pero con lo que vas a ganar, vas a pagar tus costos de vivienda, de comida, de transporte. Entonces, sí vas a poder mantenerte en Canadá con esos ingresos. Y cuando empiezas a trabajar tiempo completo, vas a ganar el doble de eso o más, inclusive, porque pues vas a poder trabajar tiempo completo y ahí sí vas a tener algunos ahorros. Ahora, otra cosa muy importante y voy a pedir que Cristian me lo confirme, hay muchos empleados que pagan más que el salario mínimo. Hablamos del salario mínimo en $15.65 y que va a subir en otoño, pero hay muchos empleados inclusive que pagan más que eso y porque hace falta mucho mano de obra en la región. Entonces puedes ganar inclusive más. Y si trabajas en un puesto en turismo o hospitalidad, muchas veces también hay asuntos de propinas que van encima de eso, que es considerado encima del ingreso oficial que uno puede ganar. Krista, would you agree with me when I say that minimum salary right now in BC is $15.65 per hour? Is it, I mean, this is not a good question for you, but I want to be honest with the audience.
Yeah.
Is it not true that a lot of employers, or actually in some cases on some position, willing to pay above minimum salary to get the right people in the right seat?
Absolutely. And truly, with the exception of any of our positions where there's tips involved, I would say our low end would be $17, $18 an hour would be more the starting, and then up to, again, depending on the skill and the position, it could be, 22, 25 and up. But yeah. The only members that we have at that $15.65 would be, like, as an example, our servers. And so they probably, in the summer months are averaging $200-300 cash each night in tips. So that's why Yeah, it's incredibly lucrative up there. It's very lucrative.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's why in those areas, that's, I guess, considered acceptable because of the tip part. But if you were working at our front desk, if you were working at our fitness center, the tennis and pickleball, you would be upwards, again, it would be $18, $19, $20.
Yeah. Entonces, ya ven, yo dije que el salario mínimo es 15.65 la hora. Ella está diciendo que en muchos casos están pagando 17, 18, 19, $20 la hora porque quieren la gente y quieren uno o robárselos de otros empleadores o quedárselos, porque así está el nivel de gente que hace falta en la región. E inclusive en posición donde hay propinas, todo lo que es de servir a la gente y en la hospitalidad, muchas veces ese salario con las propinas se sube hasta $25 la hora. Entonces, sí, buenas oportunidades ya de ganar mucho más dinero, porque en Canadá la propina empieza a 18% de la nota, ¿no? Del total de lo que uno consume. Son 18, 20 o 25% de lo que uno da, ¿no? No son 5% como en algunos otros países. Okay. We have another good question for Mary Ross. Is it 100% needed, is it needed to speak English to work? Yes. I mean, it's like, it's like, yes, end of story, right? I mean, sí, si no hablas inglés no puedes trabajar. ¿Cómo te van a entender? Canadá no es un país hispanófono, ¿no? Entonces, hispanoparlante, entonces sí hay que hablar inglés. Lo mejor que hablas inglés, mejor posición vas a conseguir y más vas a ganar en Canadá. Rupert, si tomo un curso de inglés con ustedes, se puede decir que se asegura el hecho de entrar en el programa. Okay, Rupert saying, if I take the English course with you, would that make me automatically able to enter in one of your career college program?
Yeah, absolutely. So as long as he is joining to our EAP programs, and if he's completed the course and passing the examinations or the courses, he can able to directly join without any requirements.
And we could give him a letter of acceptance for both programs together, or one letter of acceptance with both programs on it, so we can get the visa for the entire program, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. That's correct.
Okay. Muy interesante, Robert. Allá lo que podrás hacer es, si aplicas al mismo tiempo a los dos programas, te pueden dar una carta de aceptación para los dos programas y hacemos tu visa para todo el tiempo que va a estar ahí en la parte de idioma primero y luego en la parte de estudio y trabajo. Okay. La familia Vega Álvarez, unos personas que ya conocemos en este programa. Llegué tarde y me estaba fallando el internet. ¿Ese es un college público o privado? Es una institución privada en Kelowna, en British Columbia, familia Vega Álvarez. Okay. So we've talked a lot about the labor opportunities. We talked about the immigration northern or rural and northern immigration pilot program, and the fact that there are probably today more jobs than people in the Okanagan Valley, and that's a big statement right there. And I know a lot of people in Mexico and Latin America are looking at improving their language, improving their quality of life, and improving their income as well. So I think for that, I think is just for that, I think it's worth having the school on this, because the school becomes the pathway for all these opportunities. Y por eso invitamos a esta escuela, porque hay tantas oportunidades laborales en esta región del país. O sea, es la sexta ciudad en el país con mayor cantidad de oportunidad laboral y es increíble. Les digo, los empleadores no saben qué más hacer. El gobierno está poniendo programas para estimular que la gente vaya llegando allí de forma más fácil y también inclusive es más económico. Entonces creo que es importante que lo entiendan, y si quieren más información pues les pediría que nos dejen sus datos o que tomen los datos de clase que aparecen abajo de la pantalla también para que podamos estar en contacto. Blaine, would you agree with me that if anyone is interested in getting more information from the school on specific questions that we should be able to answer, but in case we're not, we could still do another private Zoom maybe after this one with maybe a petit comité of folks that might have more questions or clarification that they wish to do. So I would say we would check your schedule because we know you're a very busy man. But I think we could make that happen because I'm sure a lot of things will come out of this and people want to have, maybe further discussion with us, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one of the benefits that we have in the Okanagan is that we're a tighter community than you're going to find in a larger center. And so, for us to be able to place students that we feel are appropriate to go with Krista, we can understand what her needs are because we know what her clients are going to be like. And so it really helps us all kind of work together and create this whole ecosystem of the language, the immigration, the career training, and then the final work opportunities. I think that we're able to do this all together because we're in a smaller community than say Vancouver or Toronto.
Absolutely, and in a smaller community where there's a lot more cooperation between the education sector and the private sector, a lot more trust, and things happen a lot quicker in a smaller rural setting, right? Here's an interesting question.
Except for building, it goes slower.
Yeah. Here's an interesting question. Can we put the question from Luis Mendoza that was just before this one? Luis Mendoza says, "See, if I've already been accepted by the school, I'm imagining it's your school. I have my letter of acceptance and my visa. How much time ahead of when my program starts should I arrive to look for housing and prepare for the school?"
It depends if they're using our housing. They could arrive, right on time, kind of thing. But I think that a month, you would need at least a month to try to find suitable housing if you're looking by yourself.
Yeah. Luis, no sé si estás hablando que estás aceptado en esta escuela o en otra escuela. Si es en esta escuela y usas el programa de homestay de ellos, puedes llegar 1 o 2 días antes y llegas a la familia y empiezas el día después la escuela, o puedes llegar un poco más, pero legalmente puedes llegar hasta días, semanas antes. Creo que es antes era 3 semanas o un mes antes, pero eso ya se quitó. Entonces ya no hay tanto asunto sobre eso. Si es para buscar tú mismo tu departamento, sí te recomendaría llegar mínimo 2-3 semanas antes para que puedas buscar algo adecuado. Si estás hablando de otra institución en la zona, como lo es UBC, por ejemplo, o el college público que hay en la región, ahí sí puedes llegar mínimo otra vez 2-3 semanas antes de que empiece tu programa para orientarte y sobre todo encontrar dónde quedarte. Okay? Y si necesitas ayuda con esto, te podemos ayudar.
Krista, what do you think on that? Should they be? I mean, if they were going to start working for you, where would they look for housing, and how long in advance would they need to find that housing, or is it just done online now?
I would say the minimum, again, if they're not using your homestay, yes, minimum a month. Again, it depends. Vernon to Kelowna can be a little bit different, just, overall size and availability. There's quite a few programs out there, but I would say if there isn't a restriction on your documents and your travel time, I would definitely, I would be inclined to be looking a good month and a half before.
Yeah.
Just to get something secured.
Yeah. And Luis Mendoza, si necesitas ayuda con eso, también te podemos, en Class Education, te podemos ayudar otra vez, porque yo conozco bien la región. Tengo familiares que viven en Kelowna, inclusive. Tengo mi hermano que vive allí y voy seguido a Kelowna. Es un lugar que toda la gente en BC pasa tiempo allá, uno o para esquiar o para ir a la playa, porque es muy bonito en el verano, hace calor. Es una zona de viñedo, una zona turística para la gente, para los mismos canadienses, tanto como para el turismo internacional. Entonces, conozco bien la región y te podemos asistir en eso si tomas nuestros datos o nos dejas los tuyos y podemos ir viendo cómo te podemos apoyar en ese sentido. Okay, next question. Mary Ross. ¿Habrá oportunidad laboral para profesionistas en leyes? Would there be work opportunities for people working in law? I would say there's, like any city that's growing economically and in population, yes, there are opportunities to work in law, but if you're a lawyer in Mexico, it's a completely different set of rules. The law is very different in Canada than it is in Mexico. You may not be able to work legally as a lawyer. You are not able to work as a lawyer in Canada. You could work as an assistant. You could work in a law firm in different administrative positions. And in that, yes, so many people are moving to Kelowna. There's lots of legal opportunities there, but maybe not as a lawyer until you become a lawyer in Canada. Okay. Muy bien, Mary. Entonces, espero que me hayas entendido. O sea, como trabajar en una empresa de derechos, sí podrás hacerlo, pero trabajar como abogada en Canadá no lo puedes hacer porque son leyes distintas entre México y Canadá. Okay. Rose. Rose is saying, good evening. Is there age limit to get the study permit?
There's no age limit at the moment. So as long as they're graduated from high school, for our college programs, is definitely fine. For English programs, the minimum age requirement, it's 12 years old. That's we are accepting.
But to get into the career program, you need to be at least 18 years old, right?
Yeah, in order to complete at the high school.
Okay. So there's a minimum age requirement of 18 and no maximum age nor for the school nor for the student visa. Because we've sent students studying Canada that were 52 years old. There's no age limit for that.
Yeah, there's no age limit.
Yeah. And by the look of your picture, Rose, you don't look like you're 52, so you should be fine. Right? She looks quite young. Yeah. Okay. Very good. Okay, here's another one. What would you say, you guys live in the area, in the Okanagan, what would you say are the career most in demand in the area?
Hospitality, probably hospitality, tourism. Those would be the two biggies. Every restaurant we walk by almost has a help wanted sign on the outside of it. So, Krista, what do you feel? You're in the industry.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, that is what drives the Okanagan from Osoyoos through to, well, I guess probably the Alberta border would be tourism and hospitality.
Yeah. Sí, la industria número uno en la región es turismo y hospitalidad, hoteles, clubes de golf, todo lo que es turismo en la región, restaurantes, eventos corporativos. O sea, es una zona sumamente, pero a un nivel premium, a un nivel muy, muy avanzado, muy, muy bien desarrollado, donde se invierte mucho dinero y también la gente que va en esta región para disfrutarlo también paga bien o sea, quieren buenos restaurantes, buenos hoteles. Entonces, es desde luego la industria número uno, pero todo lo que es salud, todo lo que es IT también, right? I would say IT is also, like anywhere in Canada or in the world right now, is a growing, it's got lots of opportunities. Everything that is related to business as well, even because this is a growing community in Canada, so there's lots of business opportunity as well.
And building, carpentry, any carpenters. This is my example today, is that I've got my deck has some difficulties, and so I'm paying $75 per hour to a person to come and work on just rebuilding my deck. $75 per hour Canadian. And another guy that I'd offered that to, he didn't even show up for work one day. So that wasn't enough for him to come and work on just rebuilding my deck.
No. Mira, todo lo que dice Blady es muy importante. Todo lo que son trade, electricista, construcción, todas esos carreras en Canadá son altamente buscada. Hay muchísimo trabajo, son bien pagadas. Está dando el ejemplo que está volviendo a hacer su terraza, y el señor que le está haciendo, que contrató, cobra $75 la hora. Eso no incluye material, no incluye nada, ¿no? Y de repente hay días que ni va porque pues no es tan interesante $75 por hora, cuando seguramente tiene otra chamba, otro proyecto donde le pagan $100 o $125 la hora. Entonces, todo lo que está esa oportunidad también en región donde hay mucho crecimiento económico, son áreas de gran oportunidad. Okay. We'll take one last question because it's already been over an hour now. So Rodbert says, so what you're saying is that it's more advisable to start the English course and the study and the work and study at the same time? If so, because I want to start right now. So, okay, I think I get the question. I think he's asking if you can start both programs at the same time, and the answer is no. First, you need to get to a certain level of English before you can get into the work and study program. So let me clarify that with Rupert. Rupert, lo que estás diciendo es que no puedes empezar los dos programas al mismo tiempo. Tendrás que empezar el inglés primero para llegar al nivel de inglés que te pide el programa para poder tomar el programa de estudio de trabajo o el programa de carrera, ¿no? Entonces, si no tienes este nivel, simplemente no puedes entrar en este programa. Entonces, según tu nivel de inglés, habrá que hacer un examen contigo ver cuál es tu nivel de inglés y ver cuántos meses aprox necesitarías antes de para tomar curso de puro inglés. Y de ahí, una vez que ya llegas al nivel que te piden, ya entras directamente en el programa de carrera, el programa de estudio de trabajo, y ya puedes estudiar y trabajar al mismo tiempo, ¿no? Importante aclarar que mientras tomas cursos de puro inglés, uno no puede trabajar al mismo tiempo, pero cuando estás en un programa de estudio y trabaja o work and study, sí puedes trabajar medio tiempo mientras estás estudiando y tiempo completo después de graduarte. ¿Ok? Espero que eso haya contestado a tu pregunta, Rupert. There are more questions, but we're running out of time, so I'd like to ask anyone that's listening to us to take your contact information that appears at the bottom of the screen. Maybe fill up the contact form on your social network so we can have your contact information. Let us know what your questions are, and we'll take it, or even leave them in the chat. We will answer those questions as well. A la gente que nos está escuchando, ya se está acabando el programa. Si tienen más preguntas, toman los datos de clase que aparecen abajo de la pantalla y también llenan el formato de contacto para seguir en contacto con nosotros, y danle también un subscribe para seguir recibiendo el contenido nuestro, para que se puedan seguir informando de las grandes oportunidades que ofrece Canadá para estudiar, trabajar y emigrar en ese país. Ese canal es para eso, es para informarse y para ir avanzando, sobre todo también, ir tomando buenas decisiones con respecto a estudiar en Canadá. So I'm just asking anyone that's interested in further information, leave us our contact information or find us. All contact information is there. This program was designed exactly for that, to shed a lot of light on all the complexity and all the opportunity that exists in Canada to come and study, work, and eventually emigrate and maybe make Canada your home in the near future. We certainly would like to help you. We're here for that, and so is International Gateway of Kelowna, a very important player in facilitating that entrance into Canada and also into the job market with employers like Krista at Predators Ridge, which is just one of many examples where employers are really looking at international students to fill the labor gap that we're currently suffering in Canada. Okay, Guy, I'll let you maybe add whatever else you want to add before we say we call it a night. If there's something you wish to add or remind the audience, now is the time, and then we'll call it a night.
Just like to say thank you, and we really hope that we can support you through your the gateway to your future, and that's what we really have your I guess your end goal in mind, and that's what we're really trying to support you with.
Also, I just want to thank you as well for all the opportunities to giving us for today, and we hopefully to see your clients in pretty much soon in Kelowna, and welcome in here.
Very good. Krista, the employer of the night.
I would say the same. Just really appreciate the interest. As both the other gentlemen said, I mean, Kelowna or the Okanagan is an absolutely spectacular location. It is safe. There's a lot of opportunity. You're located close to a lot of big centers, so you kind of get the best of all worlds. And, I think these strategic partnerships that are helping with the education part, transitioning to employment, and potentially permanent residency, certainly is going to fit a lot of needs. So hopefully we've answered some questions, and you'll be joining Team Pred soon.
All right. Thank you very much for all three of you for your time tonight, and for kind of like unveiling the best secret in British Columbia, which is Kelowna, which is a beautiful area of Canada, and a place, not just a beautiful place, but also a place with beautiful opportunities and great opportunity for people that want to study, work, and eventually also immigrate. Really well worth it. Google it. Google Kelowna or Google Okanagan Valley. It's simply a gorgeous area of Canada, well worth knowing, and really also an important destination for any one of you that are looking at improving your English and also your work and study opportunities and immigration opportunities. Así que muchas gracias a todos por todas sus preguntas. Gracias a la institución por haber estado con nosotros el día de hoy. Como cada jueves, y otra vez una disculpa por hoy porque estoy en mi cuarto de hotel, porque estoy de viaje, no estoy en mi estudio normal. Pero bueno, creo que lo pudimos hacer, y lo importante es que hablamos con una institución nueva en el programa, no nueva porque la escuela ya tiene más de 20 años de existir, pero que realmente ofrece un destino distinto, una oferta distinta, llena de oportunidades. Entonces, espero que les haya gustado la información. Otra vez, si tienen preguntas, siguen llenando los formatos de contactos en cada red social para que podamos estar en contacto con ustedes. Y yo me voy despidiendo. Nos vemos el próximo jueves a las 7 p.m. hora de México, donde estaremos con nuestro próximo programa de Class Education TV, y el martes con Instagram Live a las 6 p.m. también hora de México. ¿Ok? Que descansen todos. Muy buenas noches. Good evening, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And we'll be visiting you soon in Kelowna.
And Predator Ridge. That's where we're staying. So
absolutely.
Okay. Thank you.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
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 Yo atribuiría el éxito de Class Education básicamente a tres cosas. Primero, la gran experiencia que tenemos en el mercado, que son más de 10,000 alumnos que hemos enviado al extranjero a través de los 27 años de experiencia.
Pues conformamos un equipo responsable, amigable.
Saber que la educación siempre trae grandes beneficios.
Se siente muy, muy satisfactorio formar parte de cambiar la vida de una persona.
Class Education ha demostrado que en tiempos retadores, cuando se trabaja en equipo y con un gran liderazgo, se pueden lograr cosas muy grandes.
El negocio de Class Education claramente es apoyar a la gente para ir a estudiar en el extranjero, pero el verdadero impacto de lo que hacemos es literalmente cambiar la vida de la gente.
Me apasiona el hecho de ver las caras, que ahorita es por Zoom, pero es el hablar con los estudiantes o con los papás y que al final me digan, al final de esa llamada que me digan, me aclaraste todas mis dudas.
Lo más satisfactorio es cuando pues un estudiante te dice gracias.
Y el empatizar con los papás de yo he mandado a mis hijas, te entiendo como papá, y saber qué es lo que están buscando para sus hijos. Creo que eso fue el match perfecto que me hizo quedarme en Class.
Lo que diferencia el equipo de Class Education para mí es el hecho que tenemos un gran compromiso hacia el servicio.
Una de las cosas que más me gusta de estar en Class Education es que las crisis que otros ven, nosotros los vemos siempre como áreas de oportunidad.
Es algo súper enriquecedor. Si bien pues todos tenemos un trabajo, una labor, aquí es el trabajo de cumplir sueños.
Trabajando con el equipo de Class Education me siento súper bien en el día a día, porque todos somos individuos que buscamos lo mismo, que es hacer crecer a nuestros estudiantes.
Me sigue emocionando, me sigue dando una emoción increíble cuando sale su visa, cuando ya tiene su vuelo, cuando le damos la plática de salida.
Emocionados, te bendicen y te dan las gracias por haberles ayudado a hacer su trámite, por haber cumplido su sueño.
Con Customer Experience lo que queremos lograr es no solamente que se quede la guía en el proceso desde que tú nos contactas hasta que tomes el avión, sino que vayan más allá y que ya que estás en la escuela, si tienes algún problema, dudas que puedes tener estando ahí en la escuela, que nos busques, que nosotros te ayudamos a tratar de resolver todo eso.
Si alguien necesita apoyo de otro departamento, nos apoyamos. Ese es el objetivo de Class, porque necesitamos cambiar una vida de una persona.
pero creo que cuando trabajas en equipo y escuchas a tu gente, puedes reinventarte, que fue lo que hicimos en este caso. Nos reinventamos, nos fuimos a la parte online.
Hemos estado innovando a raíz de la pandemia, todo el tema de mayor exposición en redes, el tema de estar presentes en los webinars.
Yo describiría Class Education en 3 palabras: pasión, experiencia y seguridad.
Amistad significa compañerismo y significa sueños.
Calidad, experiencia y cambio.
Profesionalismo, compañerismo, es una familia.
Líder en el mercado, es confiable y sobre todo seguro.
Class Education es respaldo, experiencia y pasión por servir.
En Class Education todos estamos conscientes de la importancia que es hacer realidad los sueños de las personas.
Así es que no lo dudes, hazlo con Class.
Hazlo con Class.
Hazlo con Class.
Hazlo con Class.
Hazlo con Class.